Ethan Klein is suing, not me, he's suing Noah Samson, even though he talked about suing me for like a week straight. And then probably talked to his lawyer, and his lawyer was like, what are you gonna sue her for? Watching your video? Which I think is really funny, because I still get messages from people being like, he's gonna take all of your money any minute now. It's like, okay. He said he's also gonna sue Hassan. He's not. That would be a mass. I mean, he might be stupid enough to try, but that would be a massive waste of time and money for both of them. Because when it's like two big personalities like that, you're going to struggle, I think, to not seem litigious, especially when you both do live shows that you talk about things constantly and are constantly issuing retractions and all this other stuff. He said, I ain't done with you yet when talking about Hassan. Yeah, we'll watch it. And then he had Mudahar on for what I can only describe as like one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Like truly one of the, I can really only describe it as like one of the worst things I've ever seen. Like I suffered brain damage watching. I think he went after Samson because he doesn't have the resources of of someone like Hassan. Well, that too, yeah. I think he doesn't have the same, he knows that Noah Samson doesn't have the same resources. And I think that the problem is that Hassan doesn't talk about Ethan Klein enough for him to have enough defamatory statement. Like, has he talked about him? Yeah, of course. But like, you have to do more than just prove someone is talking about you. Hassan said he would crowdfund for Noah if he actually ends up getting sued. I'm in the, do it, Noah, yeah. Go Noah, get in the lawsuit. To be fair, and like, I understand either way if like Noah decides he doesn't want to go for the lawsuit and he decides to issue the retraction instead. Because I think everyone will call it out as it is, which is like Ethan Klein being a fucking man-child that can't handle being criticized and using his wealth to like hold power over people. Like, it's just, I think everyone sees it as not legally extortion, but extortion. Like, oh, you're bullying this person because they don't have enough money and they don't have the time and energy to decide to go to a fucking court how many times a week for 3 years because you're crazy enough to do that. You think he'd run to like Elon or some shit to get help in the lawsuit? No, I don't think so. I don't think Elon would get involved in like this. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe he would. But it'd be really funny, like getting funded by Elon Musk, the guy who fucking sig-heiled on on national television, and getting that guy to help you fight against anti-Semitism. Sure, why not? Yeah. No, you're right. You're sure, why not? Yeah. Ethan knows he can scare him. That's why he's not going for Denims, because he knows he can't scare her with empty threats. I mean, more importantly, I don't think that I think what happened, listen, guys, he literally hasn't spoken about me since I put out my video breaking down everything that he was wrong about with regard to the CPS call/visit. Why? Because he spoke to his lawyer and his lawyer was like, you said what on your broadcast? You said in clear words, your dog had it and your kid had it, and you were using clear words to describe speculation. And then you said you can only ingest it by eating poop. Or sorry, you can only contract it by ingesting poop. That's what you said on your show. Okay, dude, like, I don't know how to tell you this. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. I think if Noah does the retraction, Ethan will use it as vindication that he's right and keep going after other creators. I mean, both things can be true. I think one, the majority of people will be able to see that he's using the lawsuit as a way to like silence people that are talking about him. But also two, he will see it as an opportunity to say, see, I'm right. They're all targeting me. They're all harassing me. They're all harassing me. They're all harassing me. And yeah, he doxed Bad Empanada, which is, it's illegal to dox people. I don't know how many times this has to be said. It's illegal to dox people. Incitement to harass is also illegal. Incitement to commit crimes basically is illegal. And a mass harassment campaign caused by you getting on your broadcast and saying, oh my God, can we figure out where this guy works? Can we figure out, can we please? Yeah, we need to go after this guy. We need to go after this guy in a big way. Like, what?
You have to prove that the things that you're saying aren't true, right?
Defamation lawsuits are pretty tricky, especially in California, where we have like extremely strong what's called anti-SLAPP laws. And these are like really generous laws to the people being sued for defamation to prevent people like Ryan Kavanaugh and rich, powerful people
What is this crop? Why can't I see anything but this guy's foot?
from using lawsuits to like basically block free speech,
And silence people.
silence people through free speech.
It's funny that that's his perspective when he's getting sued. Oh. And then there's this. It's because he lost against Kavanaugh. I don't know that he lost. Last I checked, I think it's that they settled. And I think he was, I might be outdated on some of this information, but I think that he was trying to appeal the anti-SLAPP motion. I think he had lost the anti-SLAPP motion. He was trying to appeal it. And then I think that they ended up settling, unless the settling was for a different case, which might have been for a different case, because he has multiple lawsuits. But I know that he lost the anti-SLAPP. Oh, he lost the appeal yesterday. Eli's used to settling. No. If anyone has a link to them losing the appeal, I'd like to see it, because I don't see it. Or I did a quick Google search, but I couldn't find it.
This is chapter 1. There's many more to come.
Ethan Klein is getting sued, lost his appeal. Cav entitled to costs on appeal, and lawsuit will continue with the anti-SLAPP denied. No. For anyone who doesn't know how SLAPP or anti-SLAPP motions work, the very, very condensed version is basically that if a court rules that the lawsuit is frivolous, rules here is not being used appropriately. I'm just trying to describe it in as layman terms as I can. But if a court feels that it's a little frivolous and it's a way to
Denims is streaming.
Intimidate people using free speech, people who are generally, they don't have as much wealth as somebody else, you are then forced, if you lose the anti-SLAPP motion, you are forced to pay their legal fees, which is what just happened. So now he's in this lawsuit and now he has to pay for this other guy's legal fees. It's just a way to make sure that people don't just like go after people and sue everyone as much as they can, as often as they can, because there's a cost and a punishment for doing that. Again, this is like layman terms. These are not exact terms. But yeah. The court document. Ectozoologist, how did you find this, dude? What secret resources are you using? Is it Bad and Panada's secret Discord that we're all infiltrating? Sorry, I had to go for it once. No, but actually. Oh, we were talking about it in chat earlier, so I already had it up. Oh, okay. You could probably just look up the court website if you already know the district. Interesting. I don't spend enough of my personal time looking at this shit. But moving on. Yeah, it looks like he lost the appeal motion. Anyways, let's watch what he has to say. And then we're going to watch him and Mudahar talking, which is one of the worst things you've ever seen.
This is chapter 1. There's many more to come. And by the way, Hassan, if you think I'm done with you, I'm not done with you by a mile. I'm taking the trash out. I'm saving you for my main course, you fucking propagandist, lying scumbag, terrorist supporter who spends all day lying. It's funny, this narrative. Ethan's obsessed with Hassan, literally spends hours every day on his stream talking about me. I saw the guy. I saw him.
Cool. I didn't want to interrupt.
So guess what? Don't worry, buddy. I got time for everybody. I'm making...
I have time to lose the anti-SLAPP motion against everybody. I have time. I have enough money to pay for everybody's lawsuits, okay? I have enough money to pay for everyone's lawyer.
Time for everybody. You know what I mean? And I'm just that kind of guy. The world is wide enough for all of us. Hamilton. So don't worry. Don't worry. You know what I mean? We go from the bottom up, and everybody's catching these hands. Don't worry about it, Hassan. This is chapter.
Dank Tank Techno, thank you for the 5 gifts, by the way. Thank you. Lucy, Recon, thank you guys so much for the subs. Do you think he'll try and sue Hassan? It's fucked up because on the one hand, I can look at that and say that would be such a terrible decision because one, Hassan's been really cautious about the way that he's talked about Ethan Klein because he knows Ethan Klein is crazy. But two, Ethan Klein is crazy enough to fight a multi-year lawsuit that isn't going to go anywhere. Like, both are true. So everyone catching these bands.
Denims is streaming.
Sorry if you answered already. Did he dye his hair black? Yeah, he was trying to copy me. Can you believe it? Disgusting. Mimsy, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Denims is streaming. Thank you. Is your sub alert Ela? Yeah. Yes, it is. Oh, God. Oh, my God. It was really funny watching H3 people get mad that I was using Ela's likeness on my show. They were like, they need to sue her for the money that she's making using that voice clip. That can't be legal. It can't be legal for her to be getting subs using Ela's. So if you watch the H3 show, it's all sound forward. Sure, man. Yeah, whatever, man. Okay. Just pure delusion, man. Just pure delusion. Oh fuck. Okay. So let's take a little peek-sies, shall we? Oh my God. They're such babies for real. They are babies. They are actually babies. Okay. I think it was this one. This is the fucking no. I'm just happy that YouTube has finally stopped serving me poop ads. Those were dark days. Those were really dark days. You make one video about a guy who makes too many jokes about poop, and suddenly, when did he get like this though? I mean, it's been like a slow crashing out over the course of like, well, it's been speeding up over the course of the past like year or two, basically since October 7th and the fallout of like leftovers. It's funny that H3 is the test case for free use and they're going to sue to destroy it. Well, technically they're only suing for defamation, so all right. So this was the show that they did. I tried to watch like a couple minutes of it and then like I wanted to explode and I realized I can't watch it without you guys, so I had to stop. But they are suing. I wanted to watch the Bad Empanada video on the actual content within basically the retraction demand. So from my understanding on how this works, on how this lawsuit works, or how this defamation case is going to work. In, I think, California, I don't know how many other states or if there are other states, if you want to sue for defamation, you have to at least provide the person an opportunity to retract. You have the right to retract a statement before you get hit with a lawsuit. So he's done that, and he's basically told Noah Samson, here are all of the things that you have to retract to not get sued by me. And I think he has like 20 days to respond, if I'm not mistaken. And I think if he doesn't respond, he can file the suit against him. So, yeah, let's see. I mostly wanted to watch. Well, he had a whole Mike from PA segment. Damn. Oh, because of the clip regarding AB. Oh man, dude, I'm not enjoying the AB segments, man. I've really been not enjoying them at all. In fact, I want them to stop. I want to stop thinking about it. I want to stop looking at it. I just want it to stop really badly. Oh God. Anyways, we had the, let's see. Here's a bit of, how long is this segment? 12 minutes. Fuck no. Let me see.
It's out of the bag now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's totally fine.
Well, I clicked the button.
Well,
So, my attorney, my wonderful attorney, he's the guy I've been working with since the Matt Haas lawsuit.
My lawyer can't do shit.
Let's go. Rescued me and saved me from that cursed mess. He's one of the most talented,
Streaming.
intelligent, passionate dudes that I've ever known. This man cares about IP and free speech and all this. He's the best. He's just the best. He's dedicated to it. He understands the space. I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else. And
Alder's just a genuinely sweet guy.
yeah,
Which
very.
I probably wouldn't say about most lawyers that I've met in my life.
He you can trust him.
Yeah, no, he's you know, I've known him for a few years now, and he seems like a good man.
And he cares. That's the thing.
I trust
like
him.
he genuinely does. And I care about him. I think at this point I consider
I
him
think you can too.
a friend and a family.
Ah, good. Dang Techno, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Mimsy, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you guys. Recon Legend, Husky, Coconut Gun, thank you. And thank you for informing us of the citizenship.
Family member, to be honest. So Rom wanted to say this before we begin the letter. It's personal to him. He said this: "My family's history and that of countless Mizrahi Jews is not a form of Nakba denial. Our hearts are big enough to recognize both as tragedies. Our minds are sharp enough to realize that the existence of one does not diminish the existence of the other. Our spirits are strong enough to ensure the inheritance of hatred, fear, and violence ends with us. The day will and must come when the descendants of Jacob and Ishmael free themselves from the inheritance of hatred, fear, and violence. It is on that day we shall embrace each other and recognize who we are, which is cousins, born from our shared ancestors of Abraham. Until that day, I shall say, from the river to the sea, only peace shall set us free." And that is a word from Rom, who's also a terrific, incredible writer, which is very important, by the way, if you're a lawyer.
I don't want to comment because I want you guys to see. Look at his fucking face, dude. Look at this fucker's smug face, dude. He's so pleased with himself. This is moments before he found out that he lost this anti-SLAPP motion. Anyways, fucking Christ. Yeah, I don't want to comment because I want you guys to see the actual letter, which is I mean, it's words in a sentence, in a paragraph, in a letter. We can read it together in a little bit.
And actually, what's really interesting about this is
the longer I look at his stupid face, the more I want to give him a wedgie. How could you? Do you see how hateful people in the left are? Do you see how violent people on the left are? They see someone who looks like a fucking dweeb and they think they can threaten them with a wedgie. It's disgusting. And the chat is completely unmoderated. It's pretty much 100% of the chat. It's 100% of the chat saying that we need to give him a wedgie. Can you believe it? That's disgusting, dude. You when will the left stop? This is actually crazy. It's actually crazy.
Rom has a great uncle who was like involved in one of these famous or infamous rather pogroms. His great uncle was hanged during the ousting, and sorry, hold on. Yeah, this is all public.
All right, we'll look at this in a second. Like I said, I want to get to the call because I think the call is way more entertaining and really funny. And I want to watch the. I already read most of the letter. It was really boring. The TLDR is just like, well, we don't like that you said all this stuff. And actually, you know, just because we defend Israel's actions and say they have a right to defend themselves, and also that Hamas's actions are forcing Israel to do this, they're basically provoking Israel to do this, even though we say all of these things, which are all direct quotes from him. He said all of these things. We don't like that you said that we supported the genocide. And if you don't, take it down right now. You're going to be in big trouble. So again, we'll Jesus, we'll cover it in a little bit.
There he is.
Hey.
That's one ordinary gamer right there.
He looks like a villain for real. I know, dude. It's man.
Thanks, man. What's up, brother? How's it
How
going?
are you?
Also, in terms of actual legality, this will get thrown out by a judge if they're, if it gets there, probably because the Israeli lawyer is emotionally involved. As we're saying, I mean, I don't think that a judge will throw it out for that because, like, you can. Actually, I don't know about a civil case. I'm pretty sure in civil cases you can still represent yourself. Obviously, every single judge will tell you not to do that, but I think it has to be more personal. I think it has to be even more personal for a judge to throw out your case or something like that. And it depends on how much like pull that lawyer has, because depending on the pull, like they can help find judges that are maybe a little bit more amicable to the situation. But yeah, I don't think so. Whenever I see chat messages like this, I can't tell if this is like just someone using poor words or if this is a what is it called? An infiltrator. It's like what? No, there's a difference between being Jewish and being Israeli, actually. No.
Wild day today. The nukes are out.
So tell me about basically why you decided to do this.
Well, I decided to do it because I want to say since he dropped his videos,
Oh, sorry. For everyone who doesn't know, who isn't brain rotted, this is like a joint lawsuit from Mudahar and Ethan Klein because Noah Samson put out the video that was titled "The YouTubers That Backed a Genocide." I think is what the original verbiage was, and then it had their faces on it.
The first one with my face in the thumbnail. I have not stopped seeing it in the comment section for every video, so clearly it's just been sort of like a thing that's stuck in the audience. I think ever since I reactivated Twitter, it's been filled with the mentions of like, you're a genocide supporter, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, obviously that's caused impact.
It's only okay when we harass other people. It's only okay if I say that this person literally caused CPS to show up at my door and they get harassed for months. That's okay, but when you guys are being mean to me and say that I don't speak
your hair
enough.
looks great. Here's to the lawsuit fund for when Ethan inevitably sues because he can't handle being called a poo-poo pro-Israel loser.
Puerto Rican, thank you for the 14 months. Strawman, thank you for the 59. Urge vote, thank you for the prime. It's just not fair when people are in my mentions being mean to me. It's only fair when people are being mean to other people that I don't care about. I hate cry bullies. I hate cry bullies with such a passion.
Back to my channel, it's obviously, you know, like people, I mean, you see that in the comment sections, it's bad. But then in reality land, right? Like, as I, like, this is the first time I had to, like, completely miss out on, like, eat prayers and all this stuff. Just because I don't really get into my community anymore. So, you know, I don't really see my family much anymore.
He left Twitter because of racism. Then he logs back on to support a guy with a 1-hour N-word compilation. Listen, Ethan Klein has changed, okay? He's changed a lot in the past decade, all right? He was only a mere child at 30 years old when he made those N-word jokes, okay? All right? You should be kinder to him. His life has been really difficult. All right? Sometimes his fucking nanny or his housekeeper, whichever one it is, they need to get a hernia surgery done. All right? And then he has to fire them, all right? Allegedly. Allegedly, according to the lawsuit. That's what the housekeeper alleges. I guess we'll see.
Just to keep them away from me while this is kind of raging. I've got my own community that, you know, I pray every Friday. I go all the time. And, you know, over there, I've been kind of confronted with some people who have brought it up. You know, just other people in the, I guess, fellowship, so to speak. And it's just not been a fun time. It's been a nuisance to deal with.
This fucking white bitch-made loser, okay, he wants to save you.
Thanks, Ben.
You from yourself, I guess. What is he trying to do? What do you think about this white dude telling you that you are pro-genocide?
Bro, it's so insane because, like, I've said it, like, publicly. It's like, even with, like, Hassan or whatever, it's like there are some people that just have the ability to turn their, like, I guess you could say victim card on and off, right? Like, you know, it's easy to be Muslim when it's convenient, just if you want that victim card on, you're like a brown-skinned person. But it's like, I live it every day, you know? Like, I can't turn that off. So when I see guys like Noah come in and tell me what I shouldn't and should not.
Listen, okay, let me just tell you guys something really quickly, all right? As someone who grew up Muslim, I would fast during every Ramadan. I would do all of the things that you're supposed to do. I never smoked, I never drank, I never gambled. I never was, I mean, my parents were pretty strict also. I always was home before 9 p.m., okay? I never ate pork, all right? I did all of the things, okay? And I will tell you, okay? There comes a time in most American Muslims' lives where, not all, but most, where they realize, actually, I'm okay to bend the rules a little bit in the ways that I want. And Mudahar does that as well, okay? Just like I do it, just like Frogan does it, just like Hassan does it, just like every Muslim person does it, okay? Not every single, because there are a lot of practicing Muslims that do try and follow the strictest version of that religion. But every religion has a vast majority of people that are just like, I don't necessarily subscribe to all of these policies. Just like Christians. Just like there are hardcore Christians that try and follow every single fucking rule, there are also Muslim people that also, in general, though, I will say Muslim people, their favorite rule to not break is the pork one. It's really funny because you meet a lot of Muslim people who they'll drink and they'll smoke and they'll gamble and they'll get tattoos and they'll do all of these things, right? Premarital sex, whatever, but they won't eat pork. Like they're like, no, I can't do that. That crosses the line. I love it. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's great. Which, like, I think that one's more because it's like ingrained in you that, like, when you grow up Muslim, you grow up thinking that like pigs are dirty and you shouldn't eat them because of that. So I think like it stays in your brain. Also, as a personal thing, it might also be a bit of an acquired taste because I feel like when I tried pork, I was like, damn, this kind of is not that good. And then I tried a lot more and I was like, yeah, bacon's okay, I guess. And now that I've like had enough time to process it, I'm like, actually beef is better. Actually, I'm sorry. Beef is just better. And then like chicken is just better macro wise. So like to be clear, no, pulled pork is still really good. Really good pulled pork sandwiches go hard. It's just that there aren't a lot of good pulled pork places in LA. When I've been to a couple southern states, then I will get pulled pork. Then I will get that. That's good. That's fucking good as hell. But otherwise, yeah, I'm kind of a beef enjoyer. Anyways, all of that is to say, it's so funny to moral grandstand as Mudahar here because he's like, well, I grew up Muslim And I will tell you, Hassan doesn't practice it. It's like, bitch, I know you don't practice it, okay? Bitch, I know that you don't. I'm sure you drink. I'm sure you've smoked. I'm sure you've gambled. Please stop pretending like you have any fucking high ground to stand on here. Oh my God, please. Jesus. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Come on. Also, he doesn't even claim to practice anyways. I mean, well, that's what he's saying. He's saying like, well, he likes to claim it when he wants to, but it's like, huh? Also, this is another point of contention that I have, which is different countries have different ways that are considered traditional to practice religions. So every single Turkish person I've ever met, they drink. And I remember the first time I met a Turkish person, and they were like, they were on a student exchange program here in like the States. And I was like, we were outside and they went and got like a beer. And I was like, this is back when I was a baby Muslim. I was like, but I thought you were Muslim. And she's like, yeah, but we drink beer in Turkey. And I was like, oh, really? She's like, yeah, it's okay. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess. Oh, I didn't know that you could do that. I didn't know that you could be Muslim and drink. Oh, all right. Oh, so like again, different countries practice religion differently. Like, and this is why there's so much, I think, anti-Arab hate and anti-Muslim hate. It's because when Americans think of like Muslim people, they think of like a woman wearing a burqa, and that's their only understanding of it. And they're like, obviously, all types of Islam are evil and uniquely bad, because I know that I've seen it be mandatory. And it's like, wait. You know, different countries are different, right? How hardcore the practicing religion is there is different. Do you think every country that has a majority Muslim population, all the women are forced to wear burqas? Do you really think that? Over the course of like what, 20-ish countries, I think? With like what, I think it's at least 500 million people, I think, are practicing Muslims. Might be more than that. I could be mistaken. Muslim population. Oh, it's 2 billion. It's close to 2 billion. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm way off. I'm way off. Okay. Do you really think out of those 2 billion people, you really think that all the ones that are living in Arab countries, Muslim countries, they like to call it Sharia law countries, think all of those women are wearing burqas? What are you, dumb?
It starts with just a beer, and next thing you know, you were playing Balatro in between league matches.
But why are you right?
I feel, especially when I've grown in that environment. Like I've grown up in a Muslim household, various degrees of conservative Muslim household too, like depending on how far, like if you go to my grandparents and stuff. So it's just, when I was in that video talking about like my piece towards the end, that came from like a personal experience, something that I highly doubt Noah's been through. So it's just, it's shocking that when I'm not on their side, when I'm not on the accepted side, I'm just the Uncle Tom. I'm fucking out of it. Like, I don't know what I'm saying.
No, I think
Like,
everybody has correctly clocked you as a pussy who's too afraid to take a hard stance on this issue and say that Israel is committing a genocide and that Israel is doing reprehensible things, and that all of our support should be with the Palestinian people who are trying to not live in an apartheid state, and that you shouldn't defend people like Asmongold, you shouldn't defend people like Ethan Klein, you shouldn't defend these people who spend so much time playing defense for Israel. That's what people criticize you for. And then what do you say? You're like, well, I think that a genocide is happening. I think that. I think it's bad. See, I'm on your side. It's like, it doesn't work like that. You can't just like pretend to be brave because you can what? Read the ICJ ruling. Like that's not being brave. You explicitly said, well, I don't want to talk about it because it's really complicated.
It's just annoying. It's like, fuck this guy. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like it's always like, listen to the diverse voices. Listen to what they're saying. Oh, this guy disagreeing, he supports genocide. Don't worry about him. Saying like the worst.
I mean,
Also, like anyone who pretends to care about moral relativism is like a fucking idiot. All right. These people would never defend moral relativism. I mean, like, imagine, can you imagine him being upset that somebody else is criticizing Ben Shapiro for shitty things that he said? And being like, wow, I can't believe you would do that. I can't believe you would say something. You know that person is part of that group, right? Or like, do you think he would say that about Candace Owens? People who criticize Candace Owens? If I criticize Candace Owens, I'm not black. If I criticize her and say that, yeah, functionally, she is a white supremacist, do you think that Ethan Klein would suddenly care about moral relativism and say like, well, I can't believe you, being not in that in-group, would dare to criticize her just because she has a different opinion? It's like, no. Her opinion is devoid of empathy, and it's wrong.
Shit possible about you. Like, why the fuck
Uncle for life.
do they target you with the,
Uncle for life?
the worst shit possible?
Thank you, Foolish Samurai.
So like I normally like I wouldn't even get into the.
Sorry, can I get an idea? Because again, I couldn't watch this by myself. I'll stop pausing as much because I want to get through it within today, ideally. But once if you saw this segment, twos if you didn't, I don't know, 2.5 if you saw parts of it.
Legal trenches of this, right? Because it's like I'm not at the stage you're at where it's like fuck it, I'm just gonna go. Like I'm in the trenches. Like normally I wouldn't because it's kind of like an apprehensive thing. But when Noah puts me up as like a genocide supporter, right, and like a thumbnail and everything, and I watch his videos, like it's insane because I've had my own lawyers. Like I've sat down and spent billable hours. We watched his videos, and we're just like sitting there like, where the fuck does he get off saying this kind of shit? Like dude, I have a fucking legal bill that I'm looking at. For all, like, it's part of like the fucking accounting. It doesn't make any sense anymore. Like I look at everything that he says and I just think like, how do you get out? And it was my wife that came in and she's like, listen, it's kind of like calling you a predator, like a child predator or something.
Totally.
Right? Like, you know, it's one thing if somebody says something about me that like, you know, whatever, it's not going to cause me harm at the end of the day. Like it's just internet beef. This is like, you might as well call me the worst thing imaginable. Yep. And at some point, like, I'm going to have to respond to you. And if me, like, because I don't want to do this thing where I make like a video back and forth. Like, I don't want to feed into like nonsense drama if it's not going to do anything. I'd rather it be in a public record. If that's the only way to like defend ourselves at all, you know,
100%.
Which it seems like it is.
Yeah. And previously when I've gotten into like,
oh, not too big on the marketplace of ideas anymore. Okay. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Spats like this where people are lying about you. You can make a video, you show the receipts.
We're going to get to that, Saberwolf, because it's crazy. And
then everyone's like, oh, okay, he's telling the truth. In this case, these people, Hassan and co, who are part of this cult, they don't care being wrong. That's part of their strategy. They are knowingly malicious. They don't care. It's like, it's just about the target. It's not about the method of criticism. It's just about destroying the target. And they don't care how it's done. We could prove 1,000 times over that they're just
the projection is crazy.
Totally materially lying, but they won't care. All they'll say now is that we're trying to silence his free speech, which is
Dude, I hated that so much. Like, so I've seen the whole rumbling. It's like, oh, you guys are shutting down free speech. And I think I tweeted about like Andrew Tate having like a defamation case where like they literally used his own words. And I'm like, well, that's you shutting down free speech. And I've seen like so many people equate that to this situation right here, us looking into like the legal options. And I'm like, no, this is obviously very different because the letter you just read, right? Like just my section alone and then your section. It's like you literally like mishandled, you've like misconstrued every clip that you've shown. We have the context and evidence out there. You could have seen it, you know, you could have relayed it. Dude, I did an investigation on that guy, Completionist, like 1.5 years ago with like Karl Jobs, right? And in that investigation, I was so careful on what I could say and what I couldn't say. Like that video had to be like legally verified. I got it checked numerous times. I do it for every investigation. Specifically after our beef, actually. After that, like I fucking renewed into a changed man. I'm like, everything that I say has to have like a fucking bullet behind it. Because the day it goes to court, you know, the day, because I know that I can get sued obviously within 1 year of making a video per like, you know, most defamation statutes. Unlike no, it's like you got like, I have to come with all the evidence prepared. And when I see these guys making their like actual slop videos, like I know that these guys use slop as like
There's something very funny about saying these actual slop videos when like the camera can't even fucking focus on your face because you don't have the energy to dedicate any time to fixing your fucking camera. This is such a, I know that this is such a moot point, but it's so, it infuriates me to no end.
the most negative term, but Noah's video was by far the sloppiest thing that I've seen.
Okay, to say that when like the content nuke on Hassan exists is insane to me.
And like the fact that it was so deconstructed so well, these people will never listen to it. And the problem is, you're right. It's just another, like, they just want to target. There's so many better targets for them that actually like.
Dude, there's shit
hate the
happening right
Palestinian people.
now. Hassan
Yeah.
just spent like another 2 hours talking about me on his stream. It's like, bro, there's shit happening right now, dude. Like actual shit. Like what like dude.
Actual shit. Like Giardia? No, I just got rid of the poop ads,
Thank you,
dude.
Denims, for
Fuck.
standing up for what's right.
No, I don't want to get any more poop ads, dude.
There's yeah.
It's like there are so many targets out in the world that probably deserve like actual criticism. So it's like when you're going after like the actual Palestinian supportive voices, it's insane. Like I hate the
Yes. When I think of Palestinian supportive voices, I think of Ethan Klein and Mudahar. Yeah.
co-opt use of these guys. Like you're targeting pro-Palestinian voices. I'm like, you can be very pro-Palestinian. I am. You can also not be siding with terrorism. Like to go back to my history, like post 9/11, if you grew up as a Muslim in North America, like you got looks, you know? I believe one of the first hate crimes against
More accurately, if you grew up and racist people thought you were Muslim. Because there were a lot of brown people that were not Muslim, most notably Sikh people who wear turbans. Racist, dumb fuck Americans have no idea that Muslim people don't wear turbans. Can they wear one? Yeah. I mean, no one's stopping them, but it's not like a religious doctrine to wear a turban as a Muslim person. It's not. Americans are so dumb. But the correction to that statement is just like, if racists thought you were Muslim. Right.
After 9/11 was towards like a Sikh individual, right? Not even a Muslim person.
Yeah.
It's just because
Okay.
they wore a turban and they looked very similar to, you know, that's what colloquially we believed like the Muslim hijacker to look like. I do have to research that a little bit more, but it's one of the things that struck to me. And it's like when you grow up in an environment like that, to me, I always like I'm a fucking Canadian first, North American, whatever. I believe in supporting my community. I believe in like the freedoms and help of like everyone around. I believe in just everyone getting along. Like it's the most hippie shit that I can come up with and say. And that's really what my
God, I can't roll my eyes hard enough. MLK's speech on white moderates is applicable here. I'm an Arab, not Muslim. My dad ran for state rep. His opponent told everyone we were Muslims, and we got actual threats and hate crimes from many, many people in my town. Yep. Average racist American. God. Like, to claim that, oh, we should all just get along and, like, we should be civil and everything automatically detracts from the fact that one party here is not being civil. And that one party here can choose at any time to stop this conflict and is not doing so.
beliefs are. And as a Muslim growing up, it's like there's billions of us around the world. Obviously, it's pretty safe to say not all of us support violent terror groups. In fact, we're very much against it. And I guess if anything that I can say is like I'm firmly against groups like that. But that doesn't mean I'm against the plight of an entire group of people that are not all terrorists. You know, it's just insane that this should be such a normal take that everyone has. And in the eyes of the most extreme left, suddenly you're like a genocide supporter for having the most normal take imaginable.
Mm-hmm.
Like something that anybody should think. Like, it's insanity. Like the more I think about it, the more I'm like actually baffled.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they pushed it so far to the point where there needs to be accountability. Like there needs to be. They forced us into a corner in which, like,
They forced us into a corner. He says from his mega $1 million mansion on his podcast that he doesn't have to do any work for. Mm-hmm. You've been forced into this corner. Mm-hmm.
there's pretty much the only way to hold these people accountable. And the unfortunate thing is people like George Janitis, the human STD, and people like Noah Samson.
Which he talks about it earlier, but this is him doxing Bada Banada.
They are materially rewarded. They get no pushback from their community. They get plugged. They get massively shouted out and supported by Hassan and co. So for them, they just see green lights all the way. Like, oh yeah, the more I lie, the more malicious that I be about this person, the more views, the more Hassan's going to put me on for sure. Just as mean as I can be about Mudahar or Ethan or anyone that's talked bad about him. So they've created this atmosphere, and listen, it's time for some accountability.
No, 100% agree on there, and that's like why, like again, like I said, I normally wouldn't go the litigious route, but like again, the more I read the letter that Ram had wrote, I'm like, it's insane. Like I've never seen defamation this clear and like removed. Like
that's not to look at this case and think that this is clear defamation. Meanwhile, this case requires a fucking judge to sit here and fucking parse through probably like hours of documents trying to prove that what was said was in fact not pro-Palestinian, and then having to provide a bunch of context. This is not a clear-cut defamation case. This is absolutely not a clear-cut defamation case. Especially again within the context that within the context of Ethan Klein getting on his show and then heavily implying that Noah's a rapist, only to later say like, oh, you know, I mean, we'll get into it.
It was so matter of fact, you know, that it's just impossible to not go forward with it. And on the topic of like guys like Hassan or whatever, I think it's a great point to also mention. It's like a lot of it does get really exacerbated when you've got one of the largest political streamers in the world going at you, constantly signal boosting stuff that, you know, you should be checking, right? Like, I'm sorry, when there's something fucked up that comes out, if anybody gets a serious accusation against them, whether it be, you know, again, genocide supporting or, you know, getting involved with minors or whatever, it's like, it is your duty, even if you're just signal boosting, to ensure the validity of the source, right? This is a guy that's been on news and people have talked about him as being like one of the greatest parsers and like one of the greatest political figures. And I find it so bullshit. Like, the fact that me, who is just an engineer, like the fact that I can parse through all of this stuff better than quote unquote
the fact that me can parse through this better than the fact that me can parse through this better than oh, you can't make this up. You can't. Oh my God, dude. He'd hate to go the legal route, but when Ethan's willing to pay the legal fees, why not? Yep. Do disparaging opinions even count as defamation? No. A statement of opinion is not defamation. You have to understand that at the very least in the U.S. court system, we used to value free speech very heavily. So you have to. We don't like to give out defamation wins easily because they hurt free speech. Do you think Hassan's last name is or whatever? I don't know. Classic Guy says one of the sloppiest videos he's ever seen while both of these dumb fucks upload sloppy videos. Again, projection from these dumb fucks. Yep. Uh-huh. Oh, thanks, Muna. Thanks.
the biggest political streamer is embarrassing. It's shocking to me. And honestly, I think like he should have more accountability. But he'll probably look at this and say, "Oh, it's just SlopTuber getting mad at me. It doesn't matter."
I mean, you would be right. It is a SlopTuber getting mad at you.
Like,
he won't address anything we're saying. He'll just say that we're exploiting the legal system because we know
you are exploiting the legal system because you have the money to do so.
Oh, he's right. Like he'll twist into something like
the major reason why people the major reason why people don't want to sue Ethan Klein, despite the fact that he's made multiple, in my opinion, defamatory statements against a lot of people, including myself, is because he has more money. It's not worth the trouble. And he's crazy enough to like sit through a lawsuit for years. The major reason why, the only reason that Noah might not pursue this and like fight this is because Ethan has more money than him. That's it. That's the only reason.
he knows that's why they're suing. That's why they're trying to silence him. But
Dude,
Hassan,
you know
it's not that
insane too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me tell you the most insane thing. When they say that, it's like I always have to remind people. I'm like, I know where this case is going. It's the fucking state of California, the most free speech supporting state when it comes to cases involving this. I would not go forward with this if I didn't feel that there was something palatable to have.
Absolutely.
My wife has said the perfect thing. It's like the moment we talked about it, suddenly everyone on the left became a fucking legal expert, you know? Suddenly everyone has become like a fucking lawyer. I'm like, if you think that there is no like actual case to be made, I don't see the amount of like coping involved. Like, I don't understand why there's so much coping for this. Like, let it play out.
Well, so
who's stopping it? Like, I don't understand what he means by let it play out. I think this really gets to the core of what they're mad about. They just get mad when people say things that they don't like. That's the core of it. Like, if you see people looking at a lawsuit and saying, "Oh yeah, nice try, dude. This was written like garbage. I'd love to see this," and you say, "Yeah, well, why don't you just let it play out? Why don't you just let it play out, huh? Why don't you just let it play out?" It's like, do you think they're stopping you? Do you think they're gonna like show up to like the judge's door or something? What do you think is gonna? They are. Yes, they're just making fun of you while they what? I don't. Okay. I mean, I think if you're stupid enough to be like dragged along in this lawsuit by Ethan Klein, like it might be over for you.
Feel there is a solid case.
The coping is because again, they knowingly lie. They have no responsibility to be factual. It's
The projection.
on us. It's like it's up to us to be factual and to correct the record and to care about words. For them, it's just a play where they get to say and do whatever they want to smear you. And just to go back to what you said about Hassan, you being better at parsing, Hassan's a smart guy. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows that it's wrong. He knows that it's a fucking lie. And he just sits there. And when it's a lie, like he was watching an STD video, says something like, Ethan Klein, who's famously a terrorist that likes to kill babies, something to the effect of that. He's just like, he's like, just no comment, no comment.
No comment, nothing to say. Nothing to say.
I think that's so wild too, because it's like, I don't know Elon on a personal level, but I imagine
it's not a fucking crime to watch a video from someone and let it play. Like, what the fuck? You don't immediately endorse everything that somebody says just because you're watching their video. And he understands this because he has fucking controversial people on his show all the time. All the time. He has controversial people on his podcast all the time, and he has for a very long time. Like, it's insane. It's just, why doesn't he just let the video play out? Why doesn't he watch my videos? Why doesn't he just let it play out? What are you afraid? Are you afraid of something, Ethan? You afraid? Too pussy? Too much of a coward? Nothing to say? Nothing to say.
Imagine that Hassan knows her because of your guys' like prior podcast work. It's like every time I see like the anti-ELA train coming out there, it's like, so she did mandatory service. Okay, now she's like a fucking baby killer or something, right? Like it's just it's one of those things where it's like
the removal of all context is just absolutely incredible. First of all, she talked about her service in a way that suggested that she enjoyed her service, suggested that she was excited to go raid the terrorist city of Ramallah, she's in response to AB saying that like the brainwashing is so bad and like they're told that like Palestinians are trained to kill at 2 years old. In response to that, Hila says, well, I mean, called Yoav Galan a good guy, and then upon, I guess, seeing the arrest warrant out for him, they retracted and they were like, well, I guess he's like not that good of a guy, maybe. And then maybe. And she, I think it's like on record saying that if she didn't get a more exciting position, she was going to find a way to get out of service. That she was down to try and avoid service because a lot of people, I forget the percentage, it's a really high number. It's like 30% or something. Don't quote me on that. Someone else can pull it up. I don't remember the exact number. Get out of the mandatory service in Israel. And that's what she said. She said, I was going to find a way to get out if I didn't get stationed in a more exciting position. Like, it's not that she had mandatory service. No one is blaming her for that. It's the way that she's talked about it. It's the way that she's talked about Palestinians since then. It's the way that she's talked about Israel's actions since then. It's the way that she talks about her service when she was in there. Like, do you honestly, genuinely, Mudahar, are you actually so stupid to think that if Hila's position for the past year was, I regret my service in Israel, like, they are very clearly committing a genocide, and it's just sad, like, when I was serving, I thought like we were really doing something. I thought that there was a threat of terrorists constantly and that we had to build this wall. And I just like didn't realize like how much of that is just propaganda. And, I can't take back serving, but I could try and like make up for it and, help inform. Do you unironically think, Mudahar, people would still say, well, she served, so I don't care. I don't care. No, no, of course not. Oh my God. The number of times that Israeli voices have been propagated. Israelis who have served in the IDF. Simone, I think Zimmerman, she was on Hassan's broadcast and she went on Birthright. And I think that they do like, she talks about in the documentary she was a part of, she talks about like the fact that they bring them on these like training routines and stuff. And that Simone saw that and was like, whoa, this is crazy, actually. You're not like automatically a villain forever because you served in like the most moral army or any army for that matter. It's about how you view your service after the fact and how your opinion changes when you see new information. It just, she didn't even ever stop to think, hey, why are we breaking into these people's homes? The left famously hates Chelsea Manning. It's just so insane to me. It's so crazy. Like the absolute blatant lying. And it's just like, it's just because she served and that's the only reason they hate her and they're going to hate her forever because that's like, fuck you. No, it's because of how she talks about it. How she has like no empathy for the Palestinian people.
Massive jump in logic, and nobody sits down and explains it. And I think it's honestly,
love the hair. It's giving dark woke. I am dark woke. I am become dark woke.
That situation, it's one thing if like a fucking Nick Fuentes said it, right? Like, sure, we know what he's going with.
Yeah.
But it's another thing when like Hassan, who is like supposed to be more, it's somebody who's actually connected to Hila. The fact that he co-signs it, it's like,
it's unforgivable for me.
Yeah, it's just, it's like, dude, you have no, like, you're just, again, it's just willfully being ignorant of like facts. He knows the fact. He knows the fact more than the average person commenting.
Thanks, Firepuff.
On it. But he just chooses to let it happen because you guys are enemies now. We're all enemies.
The funny thing is, before this all happened, Hassan was the biggest fan of Teddy Fresh. He was wearing it all the time. He was asking us for it. Now, by the way, Hila's military service and all this stuff, that's public knowledge. Nothing has changed at all in terms of like what they criticize her for. So Hassan was happily walking around in Teddy Fresh, the biggest fan ever. Hila was already on the record as being a fucking member of...
Yeah, because the left actually believes in rehabilitation. They believe that you can change as a person, you can change your positions, you can change your views. That just because you thought things that were harmful and you engaged in systems that were harmful doesn't mean it's like it should be the end for you. Like, what is it? The left is famously very pro-prison. Like, what are we talking about here? People's hope, I think, for a very long time was that maybe October 7th and the ramifications of October 7th would be enough that even someone like Hila, who has served in the military, can see that and be like, yeah, I can't stand by this. This is insane. This is not at all a measured response from the state of Israel. But there is none of that. There's none of that. She's criticized for what she's done the past year and what she said the past year.
Mandatory IDF service. But now all of a sudden, with the same facts, right? Now all of a sudden, he's giving away Teddy Fresh to homeless people on Skid Row and saying I never liked it. That shit's ugly as fuck. Like, bro, what the fuck? Not that I care, but like he was the one asking for it. He was asking us for it.
It always just feels like somebody that is stuck so far into that, like,
you know, he wanted Teddy Fresh merch. Not that I care or anything, but he wanted it. And now he hates us. Okay. Not that I care. Is he trying to convince himself?
high school like mentality, that college mentality where it's like there's just no, I want to say, adulthood to it. I talked about this with my wife too, like about like Hassan and everything. Every time I hear like a
why would you admit that, dude? Why would you admit that you sit there talking about Hassan to your wife, dude? That's so...
GNML.
Honey, you'll never believe it. Hassan went on stream today, and I watched all of it again. And, you know, he said mean things about me and my good friend Ethan Klein. Like, what? Stop! Oh, don't admit that.
Hassan or Noah talk, it comes from a place of people that don't like, that just never have had to do anything. Like, I always notice how Hassan brings up like his Turkish background and everything. Like, so I'm an immigrant. Like, I was born back home. My brother was born here. So and by basically being born back home, I'm talking like a couple months, and then I moved here. So by all intents, we're an immigrant family. And we never grew up with like a silver spoon. My dad did like fucking medical school twice. We're talking like, you know, because his license from back home was never validated.
I didn't hear it from me, but his wife used to be buddies with gropers on Twitter. Listen, considering the fact that she was happy to record Ethan Klein saying some of the most racist shit on the planet, considering that she's pro-ethno-state, aka Israel, like 1 + 1 = 2, man. You can't be surprised.
When it came here, so you know, you go through the ringer basically 2 times in his life. Not super fun, but you know, we grew up pretty normal. And then every time I hear this guy talk, it's like, dude, you grew up in like the nicest parts of the country. You grew up where like I watched through like Hollywood movies, right? Like when you live in an area like Hollywood, when you live so close to like Sunset Drive.
Oh, Chatter was talking about Muda's wife, not Hila. Oh, okay, never mind then. Apologies. Also, I'm sorry. Wait, what?
Parts of the country. You grew up where like I watched through like Hollywood movies, right? Like when you live in an area like Hollywood, when you live so close to like Sunset Drive, you live in a tourist area. It's like, dude, you have all the privilege in the world. You've never had to go through anything in your life. And now
it's so funny to talk about being an immigrant and then admitting like, well, technically my parents immigrated and I was only a couple months old. And then try and juxtapose that with like Hassan, who actually grew up in Turkey and then moved to Jersey. It's so funny, dude. It's very funny to me.
Now you're going to sit here and like preach to a bunch of people, you know, how they should feel when you've never lived that life. You've never lived the life of a struggle. You've never seen things through the people you're constantly trying to champion for. It's shocking to me how an audience like that exists, and then they become so lazy that they don't even do any research into like claims that these people make or like the attacks they send out. It's taking advantage of a lazy audience, and it's just like a bunch of privileged fucks getting away with, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know Hassan.
I don't even understand why they're talking about Hassan in this video when I thought this was supposed to be about the lawsuit against Noah Samson. It's just like, yeah, well, he's dumb and stupid. And you know what? Another thing, he's privileged. You know what? And another thing, did I mention he lives in Hollywood? You know what? Another thing, like, what the fuck, dude? You are not beating the fan allegations, man.
Origin story. His parents are extremely wealthy. His mom is a landlord of like many commercial buildings, which is ironic because Hassan famously said landlord should.
I love oh my God, dude. It's hard to tell if he's just like dumb or if he's doing it on purpose or what, but like, let me double check. Let's see. Let's see the official definition of landlord. A person who rents land, a building, or an apartment to a tenant. To call, and I don't even know where they're getting this fucking information. I literally don't understand. Maybe Giardi is giving it to them. But to call someone a landlord is specifically to talk about landowners that withhold housing. Maybe you guys can disagree with me for just a second, but like, I think that there is a massive difference between owning a building that's used for commercial purposes only and owning a building that's used for housing purposes. And also, apparently, this isn't even true. And she doesn't own 1 million properties. And also, even within his statement, is functionally not a landlord. But it doesn't matter anyways because it's just conjecture.
Should be pulled into the street, and the street should run red with their blood. His mom is a prolific landlord. His dad is a member of like one of the largest Turkish military political parties. They're very, very wealthy. In fact, Hassan...
Dude, this is, by the way, this is them talking about them being defamed. To throw a fit about being defamed and then go on a conjecture rant that you have no evidence or proof of is like crazy. When your source is literally a fucking crack pipe and you just start like inventing stuff about the people that you don't like and you don't see how insane like the hypocrisy is. Like, I don't even...
Turkey also has mandatory service, but Hassan actually, they sent him off to college. By the way, yeah, they sent him to college from Turkey, which is fucking extraordinarily expensive for anyone in the world, let alone someone in Turkey.
What university did you go to here? Like, was it NYU?
He went to Rutgers, and he went to another one that I think he got
internationally. That's not cheap at all.
Oh, it's
like,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so he dodged the draft in Turkey. He just fucking dodged the draft in Turkey because his parents are rich.
That's like the insane thing too, because it's like when you got mandatory military service. One of the things that I brought up with like just.
I like the assumption there that like mandatory service is good. Like, it's a crazy assumption to make, and they don't even address it at all.
Anytime it was brought up on stream or like I had to correct somebody on like a podcast, I'm like, she has a mandatory military service, right? This is a guy that like got to buy his way out. So it's like, how are you going to shit on somebody that is forced basically by their...
Also, it's really funny because like what most people on the left say is, if you dodge Israel's mandatory service, you're base as fuck, especially if you were punished for it, that you can, at like such a young age that like you've been growing up with like propaganda your whole life, and that you can see that it's in fact not the most moral army, and that you would dodge that draft.
I'm doing mandatory service RN, and it fucking sucks DNMBos.
That you would look at that and be like, actually, fuck that. Fuck mandatory service. And then everyone on the left says base, and then they're like, can you believe that Hassan would do this? It's like, or Hassan's dad, or whoever the fuck he's talking about. What does this have to do with Samson? They bring up this position as if it's hypocritical, and it's not hypocritical at all. And it also has nothing to do with what they're talking about.
State to participate in their military like infrastructure, and on Hassan's side, it's like dude. Imagine being so privileged that draft time comes, your parents just send you off to the most expensive countries in the world to get a fucking education.
That's how it used to be. Yeah. I mean, and again, as a socialist, as a communist, and all this types of stuff. I think it was during Vietnam where rich people were paying to get their kids out of the draft. And that became a huge thing now in America. They made that now illegal. But Hassan is literally he's literally Donald Trump with the bone spurs. I mean, he didn't make any medical excuses, but he definitely they'd paid up so he could dodge the draft. And I mean, to me,
it's like,
that's shameful and it's embarrassing. Hila served her country. She did her civic duty. And I think that's a good thing that, regardless, just in general, right? Outside the scope
it's
of
not like it's not like she agrees with the practices. Like, I've seen her talk about this. It's not like she's a heavily defended person of this. It's like, like the mouthpiece for the Israeli Defensive Forces or whatever. So it's shocking to me how that constantly gets like litigated and brought up. Like, when it comes to the military, like way back in the day, I'm talking like fucking obviously high school. It's like even when it comes to the military, like there was a point where I didn't have.
She literally takes every opportunity she can to defend Israel. I don't know what broadcast he's watching.
A choice, like money-wise, like it was like join the Air Force and like get your engineering degree through there. Because really that was like one of the only options that I have. So now that when I hear this about Hassan, I'm like, dude, it's like when you have choices versus people who don't have choices, and then you're going to tell the people that don't have a choice at the time.
Yep.
To fucking,
that's
you
part
live
of what,
in this like high moral world.
Like Denims made this video being like,
oh, I got mentioned. I didn't even know I got mentioned.
I understand it was mandatory, but she should have gone to prison. That's what I would have.
That's not even remotely close to what I said. It also wasn't a video. It was a live stream, you fucking fake fan. Okay, that's not what I said. That's not even close to what I said. I said what I've always said, which is, hey, it's not an easy decision to make, and I don't expect most people to make it. I'm not sure that I could make it. I'm not sure that most people in this chat could make it, but it is a very brave decision to make. And you can't just consistently hide behind mandatory service because you're slowly encroaching and approaching Nuremberg trial territory to just say, well, she couldn't help it. She had to join. Well, she couldn't help it. She had to participate. Like, what does that sound like to you? When you hear that, what does that sound like to you? Because it should sound like something very specific that's bad.
Done. And it's like, really? Okay, well, that's so nice of you.
And that's also not what I said. I didn't say that's what I would have done. I said it would be a very difficult thing to do. And I said that I don't know if I could make that decision. I don't know if anyone else in here could make that decision. I think there's a few people that are very brave and really smart and are capable of looking past your entire childhood of being propagandized and say, wait, this is bad. My country doesn't spread joy around the world. It just kills innocent people under the guise of protecting our freedoms. But like, yeah, sure, dude, sure. In a video about how you guys are going to sue someone else for defamation, you should continue to defame everyone else. You should continue to make stuff up about everybody else. Yep. She even said that if they didn't get her out of her desk job, she would get out of service. Again, the percentage of Israelis that get out of the mandatory service is very high.
2 years. DNM love.
Like relative to other rates, like I think compared to like South Korea. And when you're on record saying, I would have found a way to get out because I was so bored, like, what do you expect people to say about that? So you would have found a way to get out because you were so bored, but you wouldn't have been able to find a way because you disagreed with what the military was doing? Hello? What are we talking about here, man? What are we talking about?
Fantasize about.
Prison, then.
Don't why they don't have to pay taxes. Hassan and Denims and all these people don't pay taxes. Go to prison. Be a conscientious objector right now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to fantasize.
Yeah, if you...
Yes, denying your government one more person in their flesh pile so that they can go and kill innocent civilians is exactly the same as refusing to pay taxes for the rest of your life. Those are exactly the same. Yes.
If you know that your government is financing bad people, don't pay taxes. That's perfect. Like now, don't take this advice, audience watching, because I do want you to
This is a bit. He would no. This is too stupid. No, come on. I'll explain. I'll explain really quickly. To do all this moral grandstanding and then say, how dare you object to someone joining a military that is objectively not the most moral army, not the most moral military, and then try and prove that there's a double standard because Americans have to pay taxes, just like everybody else has to pay taxes. And then say, why don't you do it, huh? Why don't you do it? Yeah, I bet you can't. Also, audience, don't do that because that's a stupid decision and you shouldn't do that. And that's not a good way to object. Do you think that, like, what? Because it doesn't make sense for your own audience to object to their government spending to stop paying taxes, you just shouldn't do it ever? You're like you should never be held responsible for any of your decisions ever. What's the, like the double standards? I don't know how else to explain it. Double standards are like crazy. I just don't. Guys, is it a war crime to pay your taxes? I once thought around 50% of this country was stupid. I'm now starting to think it's around 90%. Hey, listen, Mudahar is Canadian, okay? It's not my fault that they keep importing the worst Canadians, okay? Or that they keep exporting, that we have to keep importing these fuckers.
Don't fucking not pay your taxes.
I don't think anybody watching is
yeah, they're not dumb enough to do that.
No.
But if you're so fucking intent, then stop paying your taxes. Fucking, go get the IRS to clap.
Yeah, you're right. Me and Hassan and everybody else would be doing the Palestinian cause a lot more good by being imprisoned. Where's the logic here? I literally the logic doesn't make any sense at all. Like none of it makes sense.
Slap you on the cheeks, get yourself into a prison, and then just fucking make a statement like that. It's insane that anytime you bring this kind of shit up, it's always just a deflection. Like it always was funny too, because it's like I find it funny how like being so anti-capitalist, right? Like being somebody that's
he's not gonna bring it to the house, right? Come on.
It's like for the people, like eat the rich. I have never seen a bigger consumer than Hassan Piker when it comes to like buying frivolously needless shit, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it's incredible.
We all have, like we all have like we all have like nice houses. Like I'm sure like you drive a nice car, I drive a nice car. He drives a nice car too. I know that for a fact.
Because he made a video
like,
bragging about it.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, he bought a Porsche for his fans, which is insane to me because it's like
I bought it for the fans. Oh yeah, there's that clip of him in the dealership. I bought it for the fans, guys.
When I went and bought like,
dude, you got a tattoo of your wife for your kids, like the glass houses, dude, the bricks.
Like a really nice car. It never got posted out there. Never happened. Like it wasn't like a buy for the fan purchase. But it's like it's funny how like that gets propped up as like let's fight the evil capitalist system, but also participate in it in the most.
I'll explain it for the 50th time because these people are incapable of understanding basic concepts. Even if Hassan donated all of his money, which if your position is, yeah, well, you know what, for the general good, he should donate more of his money and he should live like less of a rich person. That would be the right thing to do. It wouldn't be the socialist thing to do or the communistic thing to do because you cannot enact socialism through donations. You cannot enact it through philanthropy. You can't create a socialist system by telling everyone, well, you should give away your stuff. What you're talking about is totally different from capitalism and communism. If you want to say, yeah, well, if you pretend to care so much about all these people, you would donate more. That's a valid argument. At the very least, it's one that makes sense. To say, oh, yeah, for such an anti-capitalist, you sure buy things. Doesn't make any sense at all. It objectively doesn't make any sense at all. Capitalism is a economic theory that you can use, an economic principle that you can apply in the way that socialism is. It's a system that your presumably nation would apply or not apply. You cannot overcome that through charity. Donating all your stuff doesn't become socialism. That's never going to be socialism. That's not how that works. Now, if Hassan had said that he is an anti-materialist or he's an anti-consumer, then he would be a hypocrite. Then he would absolutely be a hypocrite. But that's not what he claims to be, and he's never claimed to be that. So I don't understand what this criticism doesn't make any sense. If you want to criticize him, you can say, well, I think that he could be using that money to do more good, and he claims to care about doing good, so he should do this. Okay, that's at least, it makes sense within the world that you've built. It makes sense. He cannot, and he will never, and no one will ever, create socialism because they gave away all of their money. Can you do good donating money? Yeah, of course. Do you think that he should do more? Sure, why not? But like when you make this argument, you're encroaching on like iPhone, Venezuela, 100 billion dead communism.
Insanely consumerist ways.
Yeah.
And like, it's funny too, because it's like me and you, I know you run a business, I run a business, and we like, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'm not like a fucking greedy capitalist, like billionaire that's like fucking taking extra bonuses, like not paying my employees. And I know you certainly aren't either. So it's like, why are we demonized? And then this guy who's like,
who doesn't pay his mods, by the way.
Yeah.
His mods are on stream begging
paid,
for rent money.
It's just insane how that is their world and it's defended. It's like, there's no calling out for it. And we're like, held to this insane standard that just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, my favorite thing.
Held to this insane standard. We are? Yeah, Betelgeuse. You're begging for rent money right now. You're begging for it right now.
That I see people doing constantly.
Thanks, Sash.
Is Ethan went after pro-Palestinian voices, therefore he's pro-genocide. It's like Hassan is not the entire fucking Palestinian movement. These people act like it's him. He is the one. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy. It's like you're telling me that just because you're pro-Palestinian, you can't be criticized for anything unrelated or related.
You know what it is, dude? It's like that.
I mean, when you try and get and successfully get 4 or 5 pro-Palestinian voices banned for a month because they made fun of you, and you try and do that by saying that they're anti-Semitic. Yeah, what do you think that looks like, dude?
That South Park episode with like Jesse Jackson being like the emperor of all black people. That's all it is. It's like this guy is the emperor of all Palestinian voices right now. And if you
even though he's not even Arab, by the way.
Now we're just writing fan fiction. Now we're just writing fan fiction. I can see what him and his wife talk about.
Yeah. That's also, it's, you know, it's even funny too. It's like I know now it's like when there was a criticizing, it's like, how can Muda be a practicing Muslim? He like, you know, drank a beer here and there. I'm like, no, I didn't claim to be like a perfect person, but that guy is like, he's like culturally there. I'm like, this is like a fucking ID card that you sometimes take with you. It's like, I don't understand how this guy's supposed.
I don't even understand this. I don't think that Mudahar understands his own argument.
It's just several hours of them pocket watching and begging Hassan to notice them DNM weirds.
You know, this guy Hassan, also, this is about Noah Samson. This is about the lawsuit with Noah Samson. Yeah, well, this guy, he only takes out the Muslim card when he needs to. And yeah, like I drink sometimes, and sometimes I practice more than I do other times. But like, he really doesn't. He really doesn't practice, even though I sometimes don't. What? Oh my God, dude. Daniel, thank you. Alias, thank you. Favicata, thank you guys so much for this. This
is just two dumb bitches telling each other accidentally.
Exactly. Diacola, thank you. I'm so sorry I missed this. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. Denims is streaming.
Supposed to be the biggest voice of reason here. And he's not even like culturally associated to it. He's not even he cannot criticize, he cannot engage with it in a meaningful manner. It's
Hassan is a fake Muslim. He can't criticize it or engage with it in a meaningful manner. Okay?
tough to see that, especially somebody in the actual umbrella. Like, and I'll say this, just it doesn't need to be said, but like, I really wish in my lifetime, before I die, I see peace in the Middle East. Like, I hope that every Palestinian and Israeli gets along. I hope that everyone in that region just gets along. To me, it has never made sense why we couldn't get along. We're all like brothers and sisters of the same Abrahamic tree. We should be able to get along, and I hope we do, you know? And recently there were like these anti-Hamas protests, and I looked at that, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And immediately when I go on to like a lot of these guys' streams, it's downplaying it. It's like, this is just Israeli propaganda. I'm like, how do you achieve peace when your actual reaction to any semblance of positivity is to be so cynical and Alex Jones-ish towards it, right?
Like this guy really thinks that the solution to the Middle East conflict is Hamas not existing anymore. He really thinks that. Like, he's really so stupid that he doesn't know the history of Hamas. He doesn't understand that fundamentalist religious groups are propped up because they are seen as more extremist, and it's harder to back those groups, reasonably so, because they are terrorist organizations. And so they are frequently propped up because that is a controlled opposition, an opposition you can win against. He doesn't understand the history, doesn't understand the context, doesn't understand that the conflict has existed long before Hamas ever even existed, but instead points at it and says, like, can you believe that these people don't think that the end of Hamas would end this conflict? Can you believe it? And they call me stupid. Can you believe they would call me stupid for thinking that if Hamas wasn't there anymore, we would be done and we would have peace? It's like, you are eating Israeli propaganda, dude. They did it. That's what they have been trying to get everyone to think. And you did it. You successfully fell for their propaganda. Congratulations. You can have the biggest idiot award, dude. Like, there is one party that can choose to end this conflict, okay? In the way that there is always one party that can choose to end a conflict, and it is always the oppressors. It is always the people in charge of the apartheid state. And if Israel actually gave a fuck about ending Hamas, they wouldn't proceed to try and destroy all of Gaza. And like people being real about it and saying, actually, hey, fuckhead, that's not how that works. Defeating all of Hamas, but in the process you kill hundreds of thousands or millions of Palestinians doesn't defeat Hamas, because Hamas too will just fucking get propped up. And criticizing Israel, the state with the power to end the apartheid, to end the genocide, them doing nothing and then blaming Hamas for everything, and then you eating that propaganda up, you are doing exactly what they want you to do. Exactly what they want you to do. Also, just totally ignoring the West Bank. Yep. Totally ignoring settlements, totally ignoring the West Bank, totally ignoring the people that have been killed in the West Bank from airstrikes. Like, it's just disgusting. It's actually, like, disgusting.
Like, where you can't, like, I'm sorry, in order to make this entire bridge work, every side has to come together and acknowledge their faults and their and build.
Acknowledge their faults. Dude, like, fuck off, dude. If the Palestinians would just acknowledge their faults, maybe we could all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. Like, oh, dude, what a fucking libers thing to say.
Corny and as hallmarkish as that is to say it,
it's not corny, it's wrong. To fundamentally misrepresent the conflict in the way that you are doing, like, right now, is playing exactly into the way that Israel wants you to play into. They want you to blame Hamas for all of the issues in that region. That is their dream, and you are giving it to them on a silver platter. They want you to think that this is a fair conflict, that there's both sides that are doing bad things, and if both sides would admit to it and hold hands, then it would all work out. You are being a useful idiot by saying all this shit, dude.
The only path to it. And I think I will, if I lose every follower and I lose every bit of my online presence by preaching that, it's worth it. because I don't know if I could live with myself and sleep at night and look at my wife and my parents if I sat down and started supporting a terror organization that is being rebranded as a resistance group, when realistically they aren't. Resistance groups are not torturing their people for protesting against them.
Yeah.
Insanity right there.
Yeah.
But
So
it doesn't need to be said. But yeah.
what no one has
But you. They're doing exactly what Noah Samson literally made the video about them doing.
Hassan are essentially saying, or I don't know what Noah said about this, but I know what Hassan has said, downplaying it. He's being like, no. The people in Gaza, they're fighting to the end, till every single Gazan is dead. That's what I want. They're like protesting, like, let's just fucking oust Hamas and end this fucking war. And Hassan's like, no, fight till the end. Every single man, woman, and child at the fronts for them.
Hassan is saying every Gazan die to the end. My source, you say. Well, please refer to the chart. It's crazy to make a video about how you're suing someone else for defamation and then get on your broadcast and say, Hassan said every Gazan needs to die for his cause.
On their behalf.
It's so easy to say that when you're living in like.
And then fucking Woodar, like, no fucking media literacy. Just like, yeah, I believe that. I believe that he said that. Anyways, going along with that.
You know, like where Hassan lives, and I anytime I'm in like LA, I Airbnb there all the time and shit too, like fucking in Hollywood or whatever. And it is the safest part of the fucking world, right? Like you got like fucking, you got the most security. He doesn't have to see even the problems of his own city in that area, right?
Right, yeah.
Like, I mean, you want to see problems in LA, you can.
It's actually not even true, dude. Like everywhere in LA, you can see the problems in the city. Every single place in LA. Is it worse in some areas? Yeah, it's worse in some areas. But if you're in LA, like Los Angeles County, you can see it everywhere. Hassan has talked about the guy who masturbates outside his house, LOL. It's like, it's crazy, by the way. It's crazy because as someone who's been there, there are, from the point of parking the car to like walking, there are multiple, both leaving and entering. I have seen homeless people on the street. This idea that like Ethan Klein, of all people, to try and agree with this for even a second, when he literally lives in Bel Air and he lives in a Bel Air mansion. And then to say Hassan is so divorced from this, it's like,
Denims is streaming.
dang, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you.
You can drive fucking.
Not as divorced as Ethan is gonna be. Stop. You're literally defaming him by saying that you think that he would get divorced. You're literally defaming him. What the fuck is wrong with you? Huh? You're sick, chatter. You're sick. Unbelievable. The lack of respect you guys give him. Unbelievable.
10, 15 minutes down to like, I mean, it's funny that he went to Skid Row to give your merch because it's like, it's funny for him, like seeing the worst of the country financially is like a 10, 15 minute field trip, you know, and then he gets to go back home. So it's like, he gets to live this like really privileged life. And from his home where bombs aren't.
And he doesn't, the worst part about it is like, Mudar's so dumb, he doesn't even know what argument he's trying to make. Can you believe Hassan went to Skid Row and then he went back home? He should have moved in there. Like, what's the... Well, he had to go somewhere where it was worse. And he's divorced from it. What? You know that's how volunteering works. That's how, like, that's what everyone who's done any volunteer work in Skid Row has done. That they've gone there to try and help the people there, and then they go back home. Would you have preferred him to not help them? I don't understand. Would you have preferred for him to have given them everything? Hassan lives in the safest place on the planet. Worst place is just 10 minutes away. Muda played a game. Where he shoots Al-Qaeda bots and calls them Abu Dipshit. He's the last person to defend Palestinians. Is this an ancient slur? I don't even know this slur. Dude, we need to stop. Can we please stop inventing new slurs? I can't keep up. I can't.
All right, boys, we're gonna be cooking some Al-Qaedans today. Oh shit, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, cook them alive, cook them alive. Alright, here we go, let's go back to the AKS. Bro, what are you doing, Abu Dipshit? Get out of here. Abu Dipshit, Abu Dipshit, Abu Dipshit. I'm the US military. And these are just a bunch of fucking goat fuckers in the middle of the nowhere.
Oh, the slur is goat fucker. That's the one.
Nowhere. Of course I'm gonna nuke him, dude. What the fuck?
I like that we have the two defenders here. We have the pro-Palestinian defender who cares a lot about being Muslim, cares a lot
fellow humans
about this conflict, who's never said anything detrimental at all to Arab Muslim people. And then we have the Israel defender here, Ethan Klein, who's never said anything anti-Semitic ever in his life.
Goat fuckers and goat fuckers and goat fuckers. Too slow. No, they were on top of each other, Jake. Oh my lord. Dude, that's crazy, bro. They made the prayer mats have AK-47s on them? Astaghfirullah, dude. What is this, man? There's like a fucking it's a 40-minute video of this fucking mongoloid crashing out on me.
You know, part of me wants to say, I should be fair. Maybe he doesn't know that that's a slur. Like, I didn't know that that was a slur for a very long time. I didn't even know that I literally didn't know it was a slur until I was like 20 or something. But knowing Mudahar, he probably knows and just doesn't care. Okay. Yeah, it's a slur. I don't know about this definition, by the way. It's a slur against Mongolian people. It's like it's on there with like describing indigenous people as like redskins. It's just like it's an offensive term. I don't know about this, but the way that I've seen it described is that it's an offensive term against a group of people that are still very much so alive, and it's rude to do that. Now, it's also a slur for people with Down syndrome. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. This is what I mean. I don't know. I can't even keep up with the fucking slurs, dude. I'm sorry, man. I know the basic ones. And then every fucking week I learn a new one against my will where I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. That's another one. All right. That's another. All right. That's an, okay. All right. Sure. Okay. Don't overthink it. Just run-of-the-mill slop tuber that has no real views or convictions. Every decision he makes is based on what he thinks will get him the most clout. I'm sure he does get propped up as a useful idiot by some of the worst people online, though. Yeah. I mean, he is a very useful idiot. He is like definition. Like if you open a dictionary and you look up useful idiot, it's just Mudahar's face like 7 times. I think he thinks that he has genuine conviction about what he talks about. But in reality, like this is someone who has no spine. This is like the first human being that's ever been able to like walk without a spine. He's actually like a fucking medical wonder. Because we thought you needed a spine, but I guess not, dude. You can actually be a human slug and it's totally okay. And you can just get on your show and be like, I just want us to all hold hands and be friends with each other. And no, I'm not going to point out that one group here is the oppressor and the other one is the oppressed, and that Hamas has only existed for X amount of years. And also, we should just be friends. If everyone just admitted what they did wrong, then we can be friends again.
Dropping. Because I have talked with Israeli people, and like it's funny too, because one thing that I heard was, you know, one of my friends was out for dinner, right, with his wife, and he's like, in Israel they get these ballistic warnings, like their Amber Alerts on their phone, and they're out for dinner and they see it, and it's almost like they don't really even respond to it. It's like weird. And then I think, as bad as that is, you know, the other side doesn't even have fucking Amber Alerts. Like, they're just getting destroyed and decimated. And you got this fucking dude here who's like saying fight to the death. I'm like, I don't think they want to die anymore. I think they want peace. They've been
I'd love to see the clip of Hassan saying they need to all die for my cause. I'd love to see that.
wanting peace for decades. So
At a
let's
certain
get
point,
them peace.
Yes, dude, it's so fucked up.
Like, I saw a photo from Palestine in the month of Ramadan, this family eating in like a fucking, like their apartment was like bombed the fuck open, you know? And like everyone was talking about like, oh, what if the hinges break? I'm like, I don't think they're at a point where they even care if the fucking building collapses on them, you know? Like, it's depressing, it's sad. It's, when we talk about the reality of it, it's not something that, you know, you want it to end. You know, it's not a team sport. It's not like who's right or who's wrong. We're playing the weird semantic game. We should be looking for a peaceful solution, and we should be looking for it as fast as we can.
And the fastest way to find that solution is to point out the fact that Israel is the party that is in the wrong here. We're all looking for the guy who did this when like talking about Gaza. And it's like, listen, none of us are enemies here. We're all friends, but we're all looking for the guy who did this. Not you guys. You guys are innocent. Who is it that committed these war crimes? No one, you say. Oh, okay. They just magically, all these war crimes just happened on their own. Nice passive language. Mm-hmm.
Because
semantic games and it's people being genocided.
There have been tons of people that have been dying there, and it needs to, it should have stopped a year. It should have stopped decades ago, but it hasn't. And it's also funny too, how like anytime they bring up this genocide, it's like, you've been, like Hassan said, it was quiet for a year. I'm like, dude, this genocide's been going on for decades. And by the way, this is not the only like genocide of people going on. I've never seen Hassan talk about like, you know, the Muslim people in China positively. I've never seen him talk about.
There is no evidence that the Muslim population in China is being genocided. The current accusations against China is that they were committing human rights violations against the Chinese Muslim people, the Chinese Muslim population. Like, these people don't care about genocide. They care about getting owns on people they don't like. Because if they actually gave a fuck about genocide, they wouldn't cheapen the word by using it to describe every group that they feel is prosecuted, which I think is rightfully or reasonable to be concerned about. But like Hassan acknowledges the human rights violations that have happened in China against the Muslim population there. He just correctly says there is no evidence that there is a genocide. Like, even the most scathing reports on China claim that there are human rights violations, not that there is a genocide. Which, that's just a factually correct statement. Versus the ICJ, which has a fucking ruling out that there is a reason to believe that Israel is committing a genocide against Palestinian people. Like, yeah, also, like, what is this claim? I've never seen Hassan talk about the Muslim population in China. I've never seen him talk about them positively. Famously, he's never talked about it. And it famously never came up in Leftovers, ever.
He got
Muslim Indians.
Yeah.
I've never seen him talk about Muslim Indian people. Like,
this is also false. He has talked about the Muslim Indian population. Most notably, the recent election with, I'm blanking on his name. Modi. And that he ran his campaign against Muslim Indians. Hassan famously is super promoting. Like, I don't. You just haven't seen it because you didn't go looking for it, you fucking idiot. Like, I mean, there were literally mosques being torn down, and then I think they were calling them like bulldozer something. I don't remember the exact term because they were literally bulldozing mosques. And I covered this during the election, and I know Hassan covered it too. I don't even know. Like, what the fuck is this? You're just making shit up. You're just lying.
My people back home in India, let me tell you right now, dude, we're second-class citizens. I might even have my nationality completely removed. Like, I'm ethnically Indian as possible. Indian Muslims, fucking total second-class group. Never seen him talk about that at all. I don't even think he cares much about Indian people, to be fair. I've heard him on like camera say like a certain slur. And then you've got like, you know,
more defamation in their video about how they're suing for defamation. Okay. Sure, why not? Sure. Jennifer's, thank you for the prime. You look like Shadow the Hedgehog? Wait, I kind of do. Wait, I am kind of giving Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm down. I was just Sonic girly growing up.
Sudan, you've got all these areas where things are going on, but they're hyper fixating on this, especially not because I think they care about the Palestinian people or the Israeli people. It's just because it is how you grift right now. You know,
it's how you grift now from the guy who uses the term goat fucker. All right. Contraman, thank you for the 5 gifts.
He called out the fact that I got 1 million views on my video and I got like AdSense out of it, which is, you know what? I will personally say this to Hassan, okay? I will give every single dollar of that, you know, video away, which I don't even think it made anything because it got fucking demonetized because of the topic. But I'll do like, but you've also got to give away like a year and a half of your salary at this point because this is what you've been doing for the last year. You've been.
What he said is so stupid that I'm actually literally speechless. Yeah, I'll give away the money I made in this one video if you give away all of your income for the past year and a half because you've been covering the genocide.
Denims is streaming.
And then Ethan, donating money to the Palestinians doesn't do anything because if it did, they'd be free right now. Here to say, yeah, exactly. To the stupidest thing you've ever heard. Hassan Scam Coin, thank you for the 5 gifts. Doc's Not So Strange, thank you for the gift of Shadow the Hedgehog. Easy Breeze, thank you. Contraman, thank you again.
Been grifting off of these dead children.
These guys are like booming. Like
I feel like I'm watching like a therapy appointment for people with Hassan derangement syndrome.
It's funny. They go, Noah said the anti-Ethan industrial complex is booming, so everybody should be making videos. It's like that the pro-Palestine industry is booming, and like Hassan is riding that wave big time, man. He is loving it. He's doing sponsored.
This is actually the one thing that's like I don't even understand how you can come to this conclusion because he literally dropped a third of his viewership covering Palestine for as long as he did. Like he literally lost after October 7th, he lost a third of his audience because he refused to like be silent on it.
Streams, bro. He's doing sponsored streams for fucking
It's funny too, like
Disney-owned games.
He did a sponsor stream from like a Ubisoft title. He did two,
Yeah.
like one for Rainbow Six and one for that Assassin's Creed. And it's like, I find it funny how a company that is going through like some sexual like misconduct hearings and its upper staff, you're going to take like you don't have to take sponsorships. Like
Nope.
just to give the audience watching, we can say no to a sponsor. We're all at that level,
Yeah.
me, you, and Hassan, where we can just say no. We're not going to sign on with you.
Yep.
He has the option. He still decided to go down that road. And he's like, what? People don't take gaming sponsorships? I'm like, yeah, people do. But you're politically knowledgeable about this topic. I don't know why you decided to throw your hat into the ring. But I guess I know. I mean, private jets don't pay for themselves, right?
No, sir.
Coach
Those
out.
Gucci shirts sure don't come with a cheap price tag.
Yeah,
And I
none
don't
of
think
that
he's
pays
getting them on
properly.
the real.
Private jets. Okay. I just find it funny that Muda is such a messy girl.
You find really good deals there, by the way, if anyone's wondering. All right. Well, listen, I think is there anything else you wanna say? I think we've covered it, and I think that I'm extremely grateful that you're coming down this with us together, and I think it's a good thing that a Jew and a Muslim are together standing up for what's right against just like it is.
Against what?
It's beautiful, man.
I mean, honestly, it's like it's funny too, because like
against people being mean to you on the internet. That's the great cause. I'm so glad we have a Jewish person and a Muslim person to stand together, because neither of them have spines of their own. And maybe if they like congeal each other together, they can form a spine. Because there's just so many people being mean.
Like, the more I kind of think about it, like, we started off with a beef, and now, like, years later, we're on a fucking, like, legal work together, defending, like, we're just stopping shitty defamation from happening. It's fucking insane. It's, but yeah, no, thank you for letting me on, man. It's been highly appreciated, and thanks for, like, letting me in on this lawsuit as well, too, because I really do think this kind of shit needs to be spoken about. I hope that, and it's very helpful of me that some people like actually get the true facts out of, even though we had to bring up actual legal cases and we had to start a legal case, we had to start legal proceedings, we had to talk about this in the first place. Hopefully people learn from it. And I'm just kind of tired of like, fucking blatant misinformation on every angle here.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, they put us in a position where we have nothing to lose. So,
dude, they're like literally cum swapping on YouTube live.
This is all we've got. So anyway,
do their wives know about this?
Some Ordinary Gamer, Mudahar, check. He's on YouTube. Everybody, you know what it is. And I'm sure we'll talk again as this situation continues. But until then, thanks for calling. God bless.
Yep. You have a good day, man.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
Maybe their wives are the cucks. I'm just so used to seeing. I'm just so used to seeing. Careful, they're going to sue you over the cum swapping comment. We've never sucked each other's dicks ever. Okay, and we've never exchanged you. Yeah, prove it. Oh my fucking God, dude. Oh my God. I hope Mudahar gets his wife tattooed on his arm too, to prove how much their love can stand the test of time. I hope so. But I hope, honestly, I hope he gets one also, Avila. Ethan walks in, is like, yeah, give me a tattoo of my wife. Mudahar walks in, give me a tattoo of that guy's wife too. That'd be really funny. That'd be really funny. Guys are gonna sue me for making jokes about about him getting tattooed with Hila's face on it. Oh my God. Has Hila commented on the tattoo yet? I mean, all that we know is that she said, he said that she said she didn't like it. And he said, don't worry, it'll grow on her. Don't worry, she'll learn to like it. Also, I don't know if she's been on the show. Has Hila even been on the show since the tattoo? I don't think she's been in the studio since he got the tattoo. Do with that information what you will.